Okay, this is round 2 of trying to make my Lite 6-inch a little more usable. Basically, the knife is so hard to unlock this lock, and I had 2 of these knives, by the way. It is so hard to unlock that it's keeping me from playing with the knife. And when a knife is easy to open and close, I tend to play with it and I get acclimated to it. And I haven't done that yet here because I can't close this. And both of the ends of my thumbs are numb, like from a little bit of nerve damage. I'm sure it'll heal, it'll be fine. But just last week or earlier in the week maybe, of me trying to push this down, and boy, it is just a bitch. So you push this down all the way, and it gets out of the way of that, the back side of the blade. And I can't do it very many times. Basically, if I push the lock and then use the back of my leg with the dull edge, I can get it unlocked, but not very many times before the end of my thumb starts to really hurt. I've damaged my thumbnails a little bit. I can't believe how hard it is. I don't know if they've changed something in the design, and this is my second one. My other one, my other Lite had an issue. I just noticed how good the lighting was right here. Okay, so I actually disassembled the knife and stuck this liner, the bottom liner that has the lock, in a vise and tried to bend this out just a little bit, maybe 10, 20 degrees, and it snapped. So I don't have that knife anymore. I'm not going to carry that. I just got these knives last week, I think. It was very recent. And I don't think any amount of breaking in is going to change this. It's not that the pressure that it's not that it's wedging itself up against the back of the blade here. It's the spring requires this. The spring action requires a certain amount of force to push down, and I can't get to it. They've given us this little tiny space here. And as you can see, I got it, but it's extremely difficult. I can only do that so many times. The end of my thumb is now smashed in. I don't know. Maybe the camera's not going to show that. But the ends of my thumbs are numbish, kind of numb and kind of hurt at the same time. Something's going on. I got to make this better. So what I was thinking is that, well, I guess I didn't finish my point. We put this in here, and they put this notch here, but the notch seems to be for this guy, the thumb stud, which I personally don't think it really needs a thumb stud. And it's just not enough material to get your thumb in there. I mean, you can see that I'm doing it, but like it's taking me all of my might, and it hurts. So I hate to do this, but my idea is that I'm going to disassemble the knife, and I'm going to cut some material away right through here. We're going to cut the liner and this plastic handle piece to where I can fit my thumb in there a little bit better. And then I think I'll be able to open and close this knife. It's going to probably be ugly, but I don't know what else to do, and I really like this knife. I don't know how everyone else I've watched so many videos specifically to watch how easy people have it opening and closing this knife. I mean, look at my thumb. Look what I had to do the end of my thumb. That's why my thumbnails are all weird looking right now. I've been fooling around with these knives. So, I mean, that hurts. So I don't know how many foot-pounds of energy I'm putting into that, but whatever it is, it's too much. And I'm damaging my thumbs a little bit. I'm sure they'll recover, but we're going to try to get to the bottom of that. So I figured I would make a video showing my approach. I'm probably not going to do this right. I'm probably going to destroy the knife. I'm thinking worst case scenario, it works. I'm sorry, best case scenario, rather. It works, but it doesn't look good. And to be honest with you, I would rather it not look good and be more functional. This is a knife that I keep out of sight, tucked away in the back of my pocket. It's not like a showpiece or something I'm gonna, it's gonna find its way to a museum someday. It just needs to be, if I'm gonna get good with this knife, I need to be able to open and close it quickly. And I can't do it right now. So here we are. I've gotten the screws out. We're gonna set them over here. And we're gonna go ahead and begin. I've already taken one of these apart before. They're kind of easy to disassemble. I haven't had this one apart before, but this one's coming apart easier than the other. It's really just, 4 screws and some pins. I want to be careful not to lose stuff. So here's where we're going to cut. I'm going to go ahead and take this washer off. I watched a video of a guy do this, but he used an angle grinder and he left the knife assembled, and I don't want to take that chance. Angle grinder might work better, but it's too cold outside and I don't have heat in my little garage, so we're gonna do it this way. So we're just gonna set this up like so. We're just gonna start with placing it here and seeing, can I get to it? Yeah, but we're gonna reposition that to say here. And I've got a different blade here. This is some Milwaukee torch. I don't know what that means. I don't remember why I bought these. But I saw these sitting there on the bench. So I grabbed these. They say metal. So wish me luck. Is there a way to open this quickly and easily? Luckily I have knives out the yin-yang. Okay, so it should come out now. Here we are. Move this, and I do not want the angle grinder in the house making a mess. I suppose I could do it in the basement, but I like to keep my basement nice. Who knows? This could go poorly. And I'm really just gonna wing it. I don't know how to position the camera. I feel like my focus is more important than the camera. Maybe I'll just show the camera my progress periodically. See if I can lower the tripod, get you a better angle. Basically, I'm just going to take and extend this over just a little bit. So I'm going to go straight down. This is probably not a good tool for this. Oh yeah, it's just bouncing around. It'd be better maybe if it'd be more secure. This is a tiny little vise. Might be better if I can secure it like so. Maybe I can get closer. Get the blade stop closer. Now we got wobble this way. That's probably not going to work either. I'm going to try it though. Okay, it's cutting. And it looks like my vise just broke somehow. Okay, the nut fell off the handle. Some quality Chinese junk. It is cutting. I feel like I need safety glasses on. I'll show you what I got so far. It looks like crap, but that's all right. And it's more like the saw is just beating the piss out of it. Rather than cutting so much. That might be good right there. I don't like how uneven that is, but all right. Definitely made a mess. All right, so now I need to open the plastic up. And this is probably gonna be where I take a wrong turn for cosmetic appearances. We're just gonna put it in the vise and see what happens. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. I'm going to set this stuff to the side. Really don't like this metal and plastic dust everywhere, but don't have a choice really. This is actually a nice table, or at least it was. I'll keep doing stuff like this on it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just wipe this down. And same with this guy. We're going to go ahead and begin putting it back together and see how it turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and raise the tripod back up. And tap the focus button. So blade goes next. We have a washer that goes next. And I'm going to add a dab of lubricant. Lithium grease, probably not the right stuff. I'm just adding a little bit. Where that bushing is going to be. And then go ahead and sandwich this together. grab the final piece. All right, now we're going to put the screws back in. One more screw. Yeah, that is way better. That's way better. I need to... Yeah, I can do that with my hand all day now. Yes. Okay, so final step I'm going to do is I'm going to add Loctite. They have Loctite on these threads. I'm going to add a little bit more. That way I don't have to tighten it in there very tight, because that tightness determines how stiff the blade is. So I'm going to tighten it down kind of tight. I'm going to try to open the knife. You can't even open it. So now I'm going to back it off until we're smooth. Okay, there we go. So how does it look? Well, with it being closed, it's not a neat job. I basically added the notch, but I didn't smooth out the bottom. And I was getting into the handle, where the handle was kind of, the handle was hollowed out on the inside, and I was starting to expose that, and it was bothering me a little bit, so I backed off. You know, I'm not sure. Maybe it needs broke in a little bit to become easier to actually close the blade. You can see how stiff that is. We take this guy, it's still pretty stiff. Can I back it off a little bit more? It might be that I've used the wrong lubricant. I don't know. Okay, so that concludes this video. As you can see, it's not pretty, but I venture to say if I was to hand this to someone, they're not going to notice it right away. They're going to be consumed with the size and the shape. And did I take away from its functionality? Maybe technically, I might have weakened this upper liner, but just a tiny little bit. I bet it's, you know, single digit percentages. So where the fail point here is the lock itself. You know, when they do the stress test on these, they'll clamp this into a clamp of some sort and put weights on the handle. What they're pulling down against is this bottom liner, and that's where the lock is formed, and that's what gets deformed. So, yeah, I think we're in good shape. Another thing that I've thought about doing is removing that sharp edge right there, because your hand basically, or your index finger basically pushes into that to get the knife to close. Man, this knife still hurts my thumbs a little bit, but it's much better now. But yeah, that's my next thought, is to remove that. Just make it straight. And I know this side has that wave shape to it, you know, like an ocean wave coming in. And the thought is that it would grab the liner of your pocket, but it's not necessary. We don't need, it could just be straight. In fact, it could be round. Look at this. This knife is easy to open and close. And I wish there was a little hook right here that I could actually grab onto and flip it instead of using the thumb stud. But whatever. Great knife though, I still like it. Okay, that's all I got for this video. Looks like I got done in 27 minutes. Pretty good turnaround, I'd say.